Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back to another roller assembly job that I'm doing. I've got two more to build, and I've been working on them, and I really didn't want to film any of it because I've already done a whole roller series. That was one of my first major videos on YouTube that I did, was a roller assembly. So I just went ahead and started working on it, with not really having intentions of filming anything, but there's some things that I remembered that I didn't film in the first one, or the first time around whenever I was building it. So I'm thinking that maybe I will turn the camera on and show you a little what I've done. But I'm actually almost done with the first one. I've got two to do, and I've almost got the first one done. I've got the roller itself down there in the mill, and I'm getting ready to do some power tapping. I've got them already, all the bolt holes drilled, with a center drill, and I'm lining them up. And I was really just going to talk about some taps that I got to do some power tapping. That was my main purpose of this right here. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do, and I'll just figure out how all this is going to edit together once I get it all done, because I got another one here, another piece of 8 1/4 that I got to make the second one. This is a piece of 8 1/4 1045. Yeah, you can see it, and it's about 3 3/8 thick. And I bought two of these. I had two of them cut for me so I can make two. So I still got to machine this, and I remembered that I didn't show this in the first video. So I might go ahead and show you, because I do all this in the Monarch down there, and now I got to use the flood coolant this time, which helped out a lot when I was doing my drilling. And then after I did all my rough boring, it got real hot. So I was able to just put that flood coolant on it, cool it down, and after a few minutes keep on going with it. So I'll probably have that on film whenever I start this one, which is going to be right after the first one here. But like I said, I got that one ready to tap. So I got some new taps that I want to try, and I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to talk about these real quick. And what I bought is the spiral fluted taps. And I had bought some 1/4 20s several years ago. It's probably been 3 or 4 years. It's probably been about 4 years that I bought these. And I bought the Greenfield tap and die, and it's the heavy duty plug spiral fluted tap. I'll take it out so you can see it. This one I've never used. I bought two of them. But that's it there. This one was labeled as Greenfield tap and die, and I had a bunch of little parts that I was having to power tap in the mill in the super spacer in a blind hole, so I wanted to try this. I actually never used these. I know a lot of people have. This isn't a rare tap. I know a lot of people use these. I just never really used them much. So I used them for those jobs, and they worked real well. And I had never bought any since then. So this 8-inch roller, they're all blind holes. So I decided I wanted to go ahead and get some more of these in 5/16 and 3/8. Well, it's 5/16 18 and a 3/8 16. So I bought them. That's those there. And what I thought was interesting about them is when I looked them up on the website, the part numbers, I was looking in one of my older books from, I think, 2011. They didn't pull up as a Greenfield tap and die. They pulled up as a Kennametal name. So whenever I bought them, a friend of mine, me and him pretty good friends, Morgan, he's the sales rep for this area for MSC. And anytime I want to get something from there, he always gives me a good price on things. So I can always get something from him knowing that I'm not paying that price that's in the book. He gives me a nice discount. So that's why I like to buy from him on certain things whenever I get a chance. So anyway, when I looked them up, when I was finding the part numbers that I wanted for them, I noticed that it pulled up as Kennametal. And I asked him, I said, what's the deal with that? Is it, y'all don't sell Greenfield anymore? And so apparently this is all part of that whole buyout thing, with Greenfield and that other company called Whittia. I think he pronounced it Whittia. I'm thinking that it's looking like Whittier is more of like one of the parent companies, and Kennametal is part of this whole thing also. And he was saying that some of the tools went to Whittier, and then some of the tools went to Kennametal. So it's the same tool. It's just labeled different now. So I was just gonna pull them out so you can see. They still look excellent. They look exactly like that quarter 20. This was the 5/16 here. It just says Kennametal USA. That's the 5/16, and then I got the this is the 3/8 here. So I'm about to try these things out and see how they do. These are more designed for power tapping in a blind hole, where the spiral flutes, or not spiral flute, the spiral point is intended more for going through a hole, you know, a through hole. Pushes the chips down, where this one's going to pull them up. So I'm about to try these taps out and see how they do, and I hope they do. I hope they do pretty good. So that's that was kind of the whole thing of why I wanted to go ahead and get some video of it. I'm gonna set the camera over there. I'm gonna start drilling and doing some tapping. We're gonna see how they perform. Because like I said, I've never used this style before, except for the little quarter 20 on that other job. But I got all the other parts here. I'll show you. Got all the other parts. There's the bearing plate there. I got another one right here that I've started. I haven't finished it yet, but that's what it looks like. A piece of 3/4 A36 steel plate that's just flame cut. And I got that bearing plate done. Here's your thrust washer. I got 2 of those made. I got 1 shaft made. I don't have another one made yet because I ran out of material, and I got to get another piece of stock to make this. These always built out of 4140, so I gotta get me another piece of that so I can build me another shaft there. And there's the roller itself. I'm getting her lined up, getting ready to clamp it down, and I'm gonna start doing some drilling and tapping. All right, I got it set up, ready to go. I've already got my depth of cut set the way I want. All right. Here we go. I'm going to give the new tap an old college try. Looks like it's still trying to bind up a little bit further you get down in there. Pretty good pulling them chips out though. I'm just eyeballing the depth here. At first pass, I seen it stop, like it was maybe the chips were packing in there. It looks nice. You did a good job. That was the kind of chips that it was pulling out right there. It tried to spin a little. This is an old chuck though, you know, we've had it a long time, we've used it a lot. It still works real good though. But I don't know, I guess I'll just keep going with it and get a feel for it. Alright, hole number 2. See if it does the same thing. Got it all the way that time. I tightened up that chuck a little bit harder than I did the first time around. Yeah, that is one of the old ball bearing super chucks there, so you can really crank down pretty hard on these. But it did a good job. I like it. I'm gonna keep going with it. Alright, I'm on my last hole, and I thought I'd try something different. I've never had the camera this close to a cutting tool. I don't think I have. I know on the lathe I get pretty close sometimes, but I wanted to try to get the camera in here real close to the tap and see how it looks real close up power tapping. So we're going to give it a shot. This is the last hole, and every hole did good except for the first one. It tried to slip in the chuck a little bit, and I've been tightening them down a little bit more in that chuck, so hopefully it won't slip. But it's been doing a good job. I really like this tap. So here we go. Hopefully I won't get a bunch of oil splashed up on the camera, but I got my case on there, so it'll protect it if it does. Went all the way to the bottom there. I ain't gonna blow it off. I'm gonna get oil all over the camera, but hopefully that'll turn out. I want to see what that looks like up close to the tap like that. So I got it flipped over, and now I'm doing the side that takes the 5/16 18 holes. Got the first one drilled, getting ready to tap with it. This will be the first hole with this tap. Slow it down. It did pretty good. Tried to spin again, but I think I hit bottom, and that was the chuck spinning on the tap that was making it racket there. Yeah, it was just trying to spin on that tap. Well, looks like it's doing good too. Alright, so I got all the holes tapped, and those taps work pretty good. I like them. They did a good job. So I wanted to show that because I've used them a couple times before in the past, but it's been a little while, so I wasn't sure how it was going to perform. So I wanted to kind of share sort of a new tool on video, show how they work, and I like them. I like the way it pulls them chips out of there. They don't pack them down in the hole. So again, there was the taps. Got these from MSC. It's under the Kennametal label, but these were listed as the heavy duty spiral fluted taps, and they're not that bad. They're around 20 bucks a piece for these. I got a little bit of a discount on that. I didn't have to pay the full price for them. They helped me out. I almost bought 2 of each, but I was trying to save a little money for some other things that I want to buy here pretty soon. So I just got those 2s, and I figured if one broke, then I would just do what I got to do to get it out and finish the rest the other way that I always have. And well, the wife's home. Got to go help her with some groceries. All right, I'm back. I had to go help my wife unload some groceries. So I think I was about done, finished talking about this thing. So I think what I'll do, this video basically just be about that tap, testing it out, showing you how it works. Since I didn't get any footage of building this the first go around, whenever I start this one, which will be real soon, I'll probably go ahead and just film some of the processing of machining that. It is pretty interesting to see that, so I'll do that. So another thing I'm going to go ahead and throw in this video, really don't have anything to do with the stuff here. Tom Lipton over at Ox Tool, he does some tool reviews, and no, this is not about who's got the bigger tool. Sorry, but he goes to the flea market, and I guess he probably goes often and tries to find some good deals on some things. Well, we've got a flea market right down the street here, and it's always it's one of the best ones to go to in our area right here. And I haven't been in a long time, so we had some nice weather this past weekend, and so Sunday I got up and went down there. I wanted to see if I could find any good deals, find any more of those Greenfield number 24 tap wrenches. Didn't find any of those, but I did find a couple other things that I picked up. Just they were kind of interesting, and it was all from the same guy. He was right there in the front, and he had like 3 sections, just nothing but tools everywhere, and he had all these plastic bins. So I was over there digging through them, trying to find some stuff, and I mean, endless amounts of wrenches and all kind of normal mechanic type tools. But I did find a few things, and I picked up a handful. I found this was the first thing I picked up right here, and this is it's kind of rusty, but it still works good, and it's still pretty nice and sharp on the points there. And I got to looking at it, and it is a Starrett. So I picked that up. He had a 3-road on here for $3, but I didn't pay him 3. I just can't. What I did was I offered him a certain amount for everything. I'll show you what all I got here. And then here's another tap wrench that I found in that same bin. And the only reason why I picked this up, it's not because I want to use this thing. I was going to show you this since we've been talking about tap wrenches lately. This looks like a homemade rig, and it's kind of a common style. I've seen this before. I believe we've got another one of these in our shop somewhere. I just don't remember where it's at. But this is something that anybody can easily make in the shop. You got some 3/8 rods here, or you can use whatever size you want, and then a couple of looks like pieces of key stock for the center. One side will be drilled, and the other side will be threaded on both of them. And then you just mill you a little V in the middle on both of them, and you got you a little homemade style tap wrench. So that's the only reason I picked this up. I just wanted to show you this because it was laying there, and it was kind of interesting. It's pretty rusty, but I just want to show that. That's a pretty simple little project for any of you guys out there, wanting to build you some stuff in the shop. And you can make these any size you want. The sky's the limit. This little one was in that drawer, or that little plastic bin. It's another one of those kind of El Cheapo T-style tap handles. So, and it works good, just got a little bit of rust on it. So I picked that up, and then in the same bin, this is all in the same bin, I got 4 end mills. There's 2 5/16, there's a 3/8, and then there's a 1/4 inch, and I believe they're all man, I can't remember what brand they are. I think one's Cleveland. Yeah, the 1/4 inch is a Cleveland, and even though it's kind of dirty, got a little bit of surface rust, it appears to be new, like never used. And then the other one's Putnam. I think that was the brand. Yeah, Putnam. And they all feel really sharp. That end might have been used, but I mean they're still like new. They got a little bit of rust on them, but you know, you can clean that up with some Scotch-Brite. And this one feels like it's never been used before. So anyway, I grabbed those, and then the last thing that I found was this little vise right here. One of them little small like vices that you mount on the edge of a workbench right here. And I seen it, and he had an 8 on here. He wanted $8 for it, and it was a little stiff whenever I picked it up. But I brought it home, and I haven't done anything to it except for just shoot some oil up in there on the screw and the 2 rods. But I remember one of Mr. Pete's videos on YouTube. He was showing off some vices, or he did a video and he was using a vise. I don't remember what video it was, but he had one that looked just like this, and he had a piece of angle iron here that this was clamped to, and then he takes this and sticks in his big vise and uses it there whenever you got some small stuff that you want to work on, you know, maybe cut you off a little piece of rod or whatever. I let my dad look at it, and he actually suggested, see, you can unscrew this jaw here, and I'll go ahead and unscrew it to show you. Well, I thought it was out of there. There it goes. Alright, see, it comes apart like so. And you got the 2 halves. My dad, whenever he was looking at it the other day, he was recommending set this up in the mill and mill me a little V-notch down this jaw right here. Or either one of them. I think this one would be easier to do because I can clamp this one. And mill a little V-notch down it. That way I got a little V if I want to hold a little piece of rod or something to do some cutting on. I got a V there to hold it, so I might do that. I don't know what brand it is. It doesn't have any kind of markings on it. I figured it's just a cheap import vise. I really did. The only thing that's throwing me off is that all the rods are inch dimensions. They're all 3/8. And, you know, usually the import stuff typically has metric hardware on it. So I don't know where this thing came from. I did see one kind of like it in the McMaster car book before. So who knows? But anyway, all this stuff together, I had it all in my hand, asked him how much he wanted, and he said make him an offer. I said I'd give him $20 for it. So I gave him $20 for all this stuff here. And I think it was worth it. This would be a cool little vise to use. I'll probably go ahead and clean it up nice and paint it, and probably do Mr. Pete's technique, make me a little plate to clamp in here and be able to go over there and use it on my welding table, the big vise. So that's about it. I just want to show that stuff off too. Oh, the other reason why I grabbed these spring calipers, not only because they were Starrett's, is because this one doesn't have any kind of sentimental value to me, since I've never owned this till now. I'm gonna try that CLR technique that Chuck and Tom uses. Chuck over Outside Screwball. He's been doing a little bit with the CLR, cleaning up some tools. So I think I'm gonna try a little bit on this one here and test it out and see how it goes. Because I got a lot of tools around here that starting to get a little bit of that surface rust on them that need a good cleaning and polishing. But I'm kind of scared to try it on some of these older tools. So I'm gonna test it out on this and see how it does. We might even throw this old homemade tap wrench in there too, see what it'll what it'll do to that. So, all right, so that's about it for this video right here, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, later.